Hello, lovely people of the world, what's it here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. In the previous episode, it was episode 62, and that's pretty exciting because with that video, this is now officially the longest Let's Play on the channel so far, and that's pretty exciting. And in today's video, I get to re-record stuff because I am a big dumb dummy head who accidentally deleted footage way too soon. Yay, that's so much fun. So, yeah, unfortunately, we are going to see some minor spoilers, namely these blue dot things. Thankfully, though, we're not actually going to play any levels that require those, so we can still save that topic for another day. But in today's episode, we're going to be starting off with No Whammy Station. Defend the orb. Please defend the orb. If the orb is destroyed, you will fail. Shooting the orb will help it recover some health, so keep that in mind. ... Take care out there. Alright, so remember how insanely lucky I got during Whammy Station? I was able to replicate that luck during the failed recording of this one. So, on the failed recording, I got this on my first try, and I was super excited about that because this is one of the most difficult levels in Octo Expansion for me. I always struggle with this one, but I didn't during the recording. And I have to re-record it! Of course, this is the one I have to redo. Alright, so how this level works is you need to defend the orb from all these Octo missiles firing everywhere. So it is going to be pretty overwhelming as the level goes on, but if you have skills like me, then you should be fine. Hopefully, maybe, sort of, kind of. But halfway through the level, more of these cannons are going to be firing off everywhere. And that's not very nice. No, you shot the orb. No, oh no. Just stay alive for a little bit longer. No, 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 no. Oh! Of course. On the recording that I accidentally deleted, I got it on my first try, and now I have to redo it again. Oh, well. So I should probably explain why I have to re-record this. So, I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened, but this is the best as I can figure. So, as some of you may or may not know, I'm in college, and I'm working as a computer game developer, or at least studying to be a game developer. So, computer programming assignments take up a lot of memory on my computer, and so do Let's Play videos. So, I usually delete the footage of these videos whenever I have the chance, so that it doesn't take up too much space on my computer. So, that's what I usually do, and I'm usually pretty good at deleting footage that I don't need anymore. But the way that I label these videos, you'll see it on screen, but I label the unedited videos like Splatoon 2 line I or line E or something like that. So, I labeled this video as line whatever. That's literally how I worded it. So, when I was going through the footage, I glanced at that and assumed that that meant that I already demonstrated that footage, so I deleted it. And yeah, I'm never doing that again. Next up, Dinky Ink Station. Reach the goal with limited ink. Alright, so this one's pretty fun. I regret to inform you that the next test is impossible. Make no attempt to solve it. Sorry, there's just something about Octo Expansion that always makes me think of Portal. Hooray for editing! Before we move onward, I gotta say, the background details! Oh, you can see those old computers! That makes me super happy because I'm a computer nerd. I remember when I was a kid, I used to... Oh my god, I'm gonna sound super old by saying that I played with these things when I was a kid, and these are old computers, but those little square mouse things with the little ball on the bottom of it, I apologize if you hear that car in the background, but those the squirrel ball thingies on the bottom of those computer mice, I used to play with those things, and like just spin them around so much. It was a lot of fun. Alright, so my best advice for this is keep track of how many shots it takes to defeat an enemy. So those big guys are going to take 3 shots to destroy. These ones are going to take 2, but they're going to be bouncing around a lot. So that's definitely something you need to be careful of. So we can go over here, and what I like to do is, rather than move on to the next area, I want to do as much damage to this one as possible. So hopefully that'll be enough. If we use one more shot, then that's going to be it. So let's go over here and pick up some more ink. Yay, what a relief. The reason why I want to do that is because there's going to be something super shiny inside a box over here. And that's another ink refill tank. So that's something definitely that's worth it. We'll come back for that one if we need it. But it's a good idea to have access to that one right now so you don't have to worry about it later. Alright, try to be careful with how much ink you're using for this guy over here. Let's retreat back over here so that we'll be behind a barrier and we can be safe. We might as well take care of you while we're waiting. Alright, we got you. And we're behind you now. And now we're not. Okay, let's try to trap you in ink. Okay, you're trapped now. Let's finish you off. Alright. So now let's head back over here. We should be okay for ink right now. Once you go to a certain point, then you can't go back, so you definitely want to keep that in mind. I think we should be able to do this without having to use a second ink refill, so hopefully that'll be okay, maybe, sort of. How far does this go? Okay, so we only need to destroy 1 box. Let's head back up now, because we're running low on ink. Let's head over here, collect the ink refill tank, and continue onward through our merry way through our path of glory. Destroy that. Come on. Alright. Oh, we wasted a shot. That's not good. Alright. 3 shots. That should be... Nah. I was about to say 3 shots. That should be enough to go over this wall. But that was unfortunate. But now we have to deal with an Octoling. And they have Umbrella. So wait for the Umbrella to fire off and then attack. So that you don't have to waste too much shots while they still have their shield available. Alright. Make sure you have at least 3 shots available for you to go back over here. Secure that! Rude! Oh no, whatever we're gonna do! Okay, so it's gonna be the one on the corner. Remember which one has the balloon so you can activate it and complete the objective. It was the evil Callie that was the men cake. Evil Callie is kind of hot. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, so now let's move on to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Welcome to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Today, we're playing Clam Blitz again. Oh, I love this mode so much. I love Clam Blitz. It's so cute. And we're playing on Wahoo World, which is a theme park, and I love theme parks. So this is all kinds of awesome. So, today is a pretty big achievement for the Let's Play, because this is the last video where we're going to be talking about weapons in this game. So, the last couple weapons we'll be talking about are the Tent Umbrella and the Undercover Umbrella. These are the last ones we have to talk about through the Let's Play, including stuff like special weapons or sub-weapons or rare Grisco weapons or all that good stuff. And it's pretty exciting, so let's get this started. So, we talked about umbrellas in the previous episode, but for those of you who didn't watch it or anything like that, how umbrella weapon works is it's basically like a shotgun with a shield, where you fire it once and then the umbrella comes out and it can protect you and things like that. But something that I forgot to mention in the previous episode was that if you hold it out for long enough, the umbrella will actually launch forward and create a trail of ink. So this could be pretty great because it can trick opponents into thinking that you're going in a certain direction, or it can serve as protection for you to stay behind the shield and go onwards and be protected just a little bit. So this is great for stages with narrow corridors like Part Macworld or things like that. So yeah, this is something that's very well worth mentioning. So the next weapon we'll be talking about is the Tent Umbrella. This one, I'm honestly trying to really hard to think of a nice thing to say about it, and I really apologize for that because I know there are a lot of people who like the Tent Umbrella. But personally speaking, this is my least favorite weapon out of the entire game. So, the tent umbrella is a heavyweight weapon, which means that it's very slow and very clunky, but it's also very powerful. The tent umbrella definitely has the most powerful shot out of any umbrella weapon in the game. Unfortunately, though, it's also one of the slowest weapons in the game, so you're not going to get around the stage very fast. And another thing that's unfortunate is the umbrella itself, it also takes a really long time for it to actually fire forward. So, in my personal opinion, when you're playing something like Turf War or something like that, where you're trying to cover the ink as quickly as possible, this is not the good weapon for you to play through. Maybe it's good on more strategic modes like Clan Blitz or Tower Patrol or something like that. But personally speaking, I just don't really care that much for the tent umbrella. And also, this weapon, the word Tenta, this is the reason why I always get mixed up with Tetra Dualies and always call them the Dark Tenta Dualies. I can never seem to get that right unless I'm reading off something like I am right now. I mean, I am not reading off anything, I am doing this off of memory. I have the perfect memory when it comes to useless knowledge. But yeah, the Tent Umbrella, the thing about this one, like I mentioned before, is it has a very large shield. That's probably the biggest selling point with this weapon, is that it has a very massive shield, which can do a great job at protecting you. Also, that blur attack right there. That's definitely something you want to watch out for when you're fighting somebody with a blur, because even if the bubbles themselves directly miss you, they can still bounce off a wall and get you from behind, and that's very rude. But yeah, the Tent Umbrella, another thing I could say about it is that this is probably the only umbrella in the game that has a chance of one-hit shooting somebody. But at the same time, it is also a very slow weapon, so it's probably not the best in the world. I don't know, maybe somebody out there can try it out and they find that it's one of the best weapons ever. That's what happened with me with the Octo Brush, where I just started playing with it in ranked battles. I was like, oh, the Octo Brush is actually really, really good. But anyway, there are 3 versions of a tent umbrella. There's a traditional one, which comes with a squid beacon and a bubble blower on up to level 23. Blast, we're on level 23! The Tenta Sorella umbrella. That's really fun to say. Tenta Sorella umbrella. That is really fun to say. I like this weapon now. But anyway, the Tenta Sorella umbrella comes with a splash wall and a curling bomb launcher, unlike the level 28. And the Tenta Camo umbrella comes with an ink mine and an ultra stamp, unlike the level 30. So yeah, it definitely does take a long time to even unlock this weapon, so by that time you should be able to get used to how umbrella works. So if you want to keep using umbrellas, but you want something that's just a little bit heavier and more powerful, a Tent Umbrella may be for you. Moving on from a weapon that I don't particularly care that much for, to moving on to a weapon that's easily one of my top 5 favorite weapons in the entire game, we're now moving on to the Undercover Umbrella. This is awesome! But we'll talk about it a little bit more after this match is over, because we're almost out of time. Have I mentioned that I love Clan Blitz? Can we talk about how freaking adorable the Octoling Girls victory animation is with the dualies? They're just so adorable, I love the Octolings. But anyway, enough about awesome victory animations, because now we're going to be talking about one of the best weapons in the entire game. The Undercover Umbrella is my personal favorite of the umbrella weapons in the game. So, the thing that sets this one apart from the other umbrellas is that this one can continuously fire while the umbrella is open. But the downside is that the umbrella itself breaks very easily, it doesn't have nearly as good protection skills as the regular umbrella, and the umbrella itself cannot launch. But This is totally worth it because being able to continuously fire while having just like the extra layer of protection, it's definitely worth it. This is my personal favorite of the umbrella weapons in the entire game. So there are 3 versions of an undercover umbrella. There's the traditional one, which comes in ink mine and a splashdown, unlocked to level 13. There's the undercover Sorella umbrella, which comes with a splat bomb and a bottler, unlocked to level 19. And the Kensa undercover umbrella comes with a torpedo and an ink armor, unlocked to level 24. These are all really good options, so you can't go wrong with whatever umbrella you decide to use. Personally speaking, I'm more used to the undercover umbrella because the ink mine is a pretty good sub-weapon and I love splashdown. If I were to try to pick another one though, I'd probably want to go with the Kent's undercover armor because having that umbrella protection combined with an ink armor, yeah, it's definitely very good. And also torpedo is really good, and I'm gonna get a lot of chances to use that one because it seems like none of my favorite weapons ever use this sub-weapon. So yeah, this is something that I might try out every now and then. And also you may notice that I'm getting a little bit lost in this gameplay because, to be completely honest, this is my first time playing Rainmaker on the stage. So, now that we've talked about all that, that is the last of the weapons in Splatoon 2. The only ones left to talk about are the Grisco weapons, which are the Grisco Blaster, Umbrella, Charger, and Slosher, but we already have an episode dedicated to talking about all those earlier in the Let's Play, so there's really no point in me talking about it again here. So, with this, I'd like to talk about what we're going to be doing in terms of online multiplayer throughout the rest of the Let's Play. We're not going to be doing much. There's honestly not much else for me to say about the online multiplayer that I haven't already talked about in the game, without talking about Splatfest or anything like that, and that's a huge, big topic that we're going to be saving for another part in the Let's Play. But the thing about the online multiplayer is that, like I said, there's really not much left for me to talk about without going to topics I don't want to discuss quite yet. So in the next episode, we're going to speed up the rest of the footage we haven't seen yet, and I will be post-commentating over a little bit of it, so I can share a couple more things I have to say about the online multiplayer in this game. But beyond that, we're only going to be focusing on Octo expansion story progress throughout the rest of this time in the Splatoon 2 Let's Play. So one thing that I definitely want to say before we wrap up this video is, I've mentioned before how absolutely crazy this Let's Play was when it came to planning it out, considering the fact that we're playing every single stage in every mode. So, I've been thinking about this, and the more I think about it, the more I think this is probably the only time we're ever going to do something as crazy as this. Because even if they make Splatoon 3, I don't think I'm going to be quite as crazy to do something like this again for a second Let's Play. Maybe my mindset will change or something like that, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this way because I've been recording Splatoon projects pretty much non-stop since 2015. So there's a part of me that kind of hopes that they don't make a third game until after a fairly good chunk of time after Splatoon 2 is completely done. Knowing my luck though, they're probably going to announce a Splatoon 3 before I'm even done with this Let's Play. I wouldn't be opposed to that because I absolutely love Splatoon, and having a third game would be totally awesome. But still, as a video editor and somebody who makes videos for these games, it would be nice to have a little bit of a break from Splatoon content for a little while. We have the Rainmakers, so hopefully we'll be able to triumph overall. I will say, this stage probably isn't the best for Rainmaker, because there's not really a whole lot of options for you to get to the Rainmaker base without going down the same path over and over again. This might just be me and my lack of experience with this stage, but it honestly doesn't really feel like there's that much you can do during this stage without outright stalling the match like I'm doing right now. I cannot tell you how often I've been looking at that footage, trying to think of a better way that I could have done that. Because trying to jump that gap right there is probably the dumbest move that I could have possibly made during that. That was a good victory on James' part. So now that we've taken care of that, and we've discussed the last of the weapons in the game, bring this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, and next time, we'll gear to you.